Did you spawn in near a village or have a village quite close to you? Well, why don't you make your base in the village? All the resources are virtually there for you. I'm going to show you how. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my Starter Base Miniseries. Today, we are looking at how you can build a starter base in a village. Sometimes when you spawn into a world, you've got a ready-made part of your base already there. There are lots of advantages. Look, you've got that iron golem patrolling around. That could be protecting your base. You've got villagers ready to trade with. There's already resources around you. Potentially there's food if there's farmers, there's animals. It's a great place to spawn in. And to make a base here is very interesting. Let's have a go. First things first, take a really good look at your village. Starter bases specifically aren't that big, so you don't want too much space to work with. So find yourself 2, maybe 3 houses that are relatively close together with a little bit of space around them. So I'm going to go for these 3 here. So this is going to be a relatively big starter base, but it's still a starter base because we're going to make it dead easy to build. Decide where your primary building is going to go. I'm going to have these 2 buildings here and make them the primary. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep going with the wall, and I'm just going to run that wall along. I know this is flat, we're going to do something with that in a moment, and on the same on this side, we're going to run this wall along, if I can get it in the right place, to the end. And then we're going to continue with this roof. The roof is going to come out, and it should match up quite nicely. Come in here, that's beautiful, and then we're going to come on this side and bring it along as well. So we'll trim that off, but ultimately this is going to be an extension to the 2 houses to make it into one house. What we're going to do here is we're going to get ourselves some stone steps, and we're going to trim off the edge of this roof with some stone steps. Now this is not compulsory, it's just something that makes it look ever so slightly better. If I can get it in the right position, there we go, and we'll come up all the way along and all the way down as well. And then to create the overhang, upside down, like that. We then can continue this on like that by taking that out. This is going to have to come out as well. And again on this side, we're going to overhang to create the edge of that roof. We're also going to do same on these roof edges. I'll be back when I've done that. Once you've finished off all of the edges, come along and join the 2 roofs up together. You should be able to do this because you would have picked an area that have got 2 houses close together if you listened right at the beginning. If you've got a gable coming into a slope like this, it's really easy to fix. Just lose the bit that's in the way and pop another bit in there, and it will do that 90-degree turn for you. Do the same here. Take the one that's in the way, 90-degree turn. The one that's in the way, 90-degree turn. You get a nice continuation of the roof. Then just finish off the connecting walls literally by running along like this. Inside this extension, make sure you've got the floor level, which is there, and build yourself out a floor that matches the floor that's inside the other houses. Now, depending on what house you're actually done and where the biome is, you might find you've got different materials making the floor. So make sure it matches, otherwise it might look a little bit odd. Remove the separators, get them out the way. You don't want them in the way of your new house. And now you've got a great open plan system at both ends that you can start to think about where you're going to put stuff into. Lose the bed, it's in the way. We're not going to go too hard on the cosmetic here. There are a number of blocks that just look a little bit odd. But what we are going to do is make sure that we've got plenty of room to be able to see out in both directions. Just going to get one there and one there and one there. To make some nice windows, we want some light inside. Put some glass in. And then when we come outside, you've got multiple entrances, which we will address in a moment, to a much larger house. Now, you don't want 2 entrances on the same side of the building. That doesn't really work. So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to fill this space up with cobble so as it is. Basically, it flows with the rest of the building. I'm also going to take out that and that and that, and we're going to place a window that extends all the way along here. Get rid of that. and pop that there. Now we've got a nice consistent look along that side. I am also going to put a back door in, and that back door is going to come in this wall here. So let's take out those two, bring in the door from the inside like that, open the door up. Of course that's up in there, that's no good. Let's put a step down. So we're starting to get the feel of how it's going to look. I'm going to pop that out there and that out there. Window there and a window there. We have a front and a back door. Now make all of the walls look the same, because of the village construction, whilst infinitely better in 1.14 than it was in previous versions, still has a lot to be desired. So take out these bits because we've got much better ideas than that. Now, if you've decided to go on a third building, come to that. This particular building lends itself beautifully because it is already got a blast furnace in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand the utility of this by adding other cookery. So we've got blast furnace, we can put normal furnaces in, and we can also put smokers in. Now, it's got lots of blocks here that are kind of surplus to requirements. So just make it fairly simple. Get yourself a couple of furnaces in that side. Get yourself a couple of smokers in that side, and where you've got brick there, get yourself another blast furnace. You've now got two of each type of cookery. Remember, where there is smelting, there is also the need for storage. So get yourself some chests in here as well, because these smelters are going to produce lots of goods and you're going to have them somewhere. Get yourself a nice square of dirt. You want something that's going to be 9 by 9. So clear yourself out a little bit of space if you have to. That's perfect. And build yourself a square that the internal dimensions are 9 by 9. And bring it in so as it's in the nice close part to your current houses. So put a block there. I'm using wood. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then complete that square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just need to clear out a little bit more. And then this is 11 there. Perfect. Get it completely clear so there's nothing in the way. And fill up the inner square with dirt. Once you've got your dirt square, get yourself your oak stairs, and in each corner put in 2 oak stairs that are the right way up, standard stair orientation like this, and then between them put upside down stairs all the way along. What that's going to do, that's going to break up the edge so as it doesn't look like it's the base of a pyramid, which would look really unsightly, but it will allow you to have a simple outline for this square, because all you have to do is get a little bit of oak. Then come right into the middle. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then including this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that square there, that's the middle. And if I come up, you can see that is the middle. Get yourself a bucket of water and pop a bucket of water right in the middle there. Now, a bucket of water is relatively easy to get. You just need 3 bits of iron. You don't have to mine for very long to get 3 bits of iron. Fill it from the water, but hopefully there will be a source fairly nearby. And then starting in the middle, I don't know why, I just prefer to start in the middle because then you don't walk over your own work. Put a row all the way around and then go around it again. And then around it again. If you start in the middle, actually makes it easier for you to not jump up and down on your farm, because if you jump up and down on farmland, what happens is you lose your farmland. I shall show you. There you go. You lose your farmland like that. So you don't want that because it's just a waste of time. So just hoe this all out. You'll see already the darker brown coming through where that is getting hydrated, and keep the corners free. Then take out each corner, because these corners won't get hydrated by that water. They're just that little bit too far away. So pop them out and get yourself a composter like that, and you can pop yourself a composter in one. You can get yourself a chest. Pop yourself a chest in that one. Pop yourself a composter in that one, and a chest in that one. So that allows you to do a little bit of composting and a little bit of storage. And then you need to start planting it up. Now, in an ideal world, you'll have 2 different crops. I've got here seeds and carrots. Now, at the beginning of the game, you may not have these. So just use what you can. If you're in a village, there is an exceptional chance there is a farm nearby and you will be able to blatantly steal these crops. And put seeds in, or carrots in stripes. Because what will happen, you'll get much faster growth if you separate the crops out into different rows. So a stripe of wheat, a stripe of carrots. If you want, you can then do a stripe of potatoes or a stripe of beetroot, and just continue to stripe them up like this. This will maximize your growth. Finally, get yourself a fence post on each corner and run fence posts all the way along those 5 there. Fence post in the corner, fence post along the 5, one in the corner, one along the 5, in the corner, and along the 5. And now you have a choice. You can either use a torch now, if you wish, or if you've got enough little iron ingots, you could use a lantern. But for now, because it's easier at the start of the game, I'm just going to use a torch. Put a torch on there, put a torch on the middle, a torch on there, torch on the middle, a torch on there, torch on the middle, there, and in the middle. That will cast sufficient light across the entirety of the farm to grow all of the crops. So now you have a choice. You can either block off the outside of your base with a wooden fence. All you need there is sticks and planks, or you can block it off with a stone wall. All you need is cobblestone or stone brick, depending on what it is you're making it out of. What I would recommend, however, is using some of the walls of your houses for part of the outside of your base. So build yourself a wall across here, and that joins up with that wall there. Then this part here becomes part of your base defences, and you don't have to worry about building a wall all the way around. A wall that goes all the way around in a ring does look quite unsightly, and as a result I don't think you really want to do that. Then come out, bring a wall along here, and maybe what you want to do here is take out those, bring in those fences, close off those fences like that, and then all of a sudden this becomes part of your outer perimeter as well. So carry on with the wall around there in as creative a way as you can. Make sure you do leave yourself a little space with which to get out of your base, unless you want to use the outer door that you put around this side, if I could drive, as the exit to your base. That is actually a really nice idea. So now, with only about 15 to 20 wall segments, you've got a completely enclosed base because you've utilised the outside of your house and the outside of your farm to create a perimeter, and it also makes it look slightly more interesting. You can now get yourself some torches and use those torches to light up these walls, and the way you do that is entirely up to you, but I'm just going to pop one there and one there, and I'm going to come along the other side. I'm going to do something similar, one just there, leave a gap of 2, one there, and on this side I'm literally just going to plonk one right in the middle there. That is sufficient light for the outside of my base. Come inside the big house you made and find yourself a nice large wall that's not got a window on it, and if you haven't got one, poke out the window and cover it up with cobble again, because you don't need it. Now this can be reserved for when you have some obsidian. You can get obsidian by lobbing some water on top of some lava, or if you've got your obsidian already, grab your obsidian and make yourself a little portal. Bring it up and around like this. Generally speaking, the villager houses lend themselves really nicely to this sort of shape that's 3 high and 2 across. That wall was naturally built, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Then get yourself a fence gate. This is really important. Put a fence gate there and a fence gate there, and a fence on either side. Otherwise, when you light up this portal, you can get pigmen come through, and they can just be wandering around your house, sleeping in your bed, eating your food. They're just very, very rude. But with a fence here, that stops them from coming on. They're not active and hostile against you unless you hit them, so they're not going to try and get you. I'm not going to light it for now because the noise can get quite annoying. Let's carry on with the base build. Now this long path here doesn't really lend itself to anything other than getting to this end of the farm, which in itself is fine, but it would be quite nice to maybe do something interesting. So come along to about halfway along this farm area here and dig out a row of 3 and go in 5, which will take you right up to that wall. Then come down for those 4, come down for these 3, and come down for these 2, and come down for that one. So you've created yourself a set of steps that go down like that, and then take out this wall 3 high and go forwards 2 spots, then turn left, go down, go across 3 by 2, and just start to build yourself a step down type of arrangement, keeping the wall in front of you 3 high at least, maybe even 4. Come down as deep as you want, but remember, you've got to light it up so nowhere's got a light level of 7 or less. Otherwise, when you come down here sometime, you're going to get surprised by some angry mob that wants to eat your face. Find yourself a nice wall. If there's a window in the way, again, get rid of it and pop some cobble in there. And get yourself the books that you will be looting from the library in the village that you have occupied. Put down a row of 5 with 3 coming out in one direction like that, 2 coming out in that direction like that, and then just put on a second row. That now is ready for you to get an enchanting table. Now you may not have diamonds yet, as you may not have obsidian yet, but when you're ready, pop an enchantment table down there and you'll instantly see that is ready to roll. When you've got enough iron, and if you've got enough resources for an enchanting table, you've probably got enough iron, pop yourself an anvil in there and that'll allow you to combine enchantments too. Create yourself a little bit of a workshop by popping down things like cartography tables, looms, grindstones, stone cutters, and maybe use some barrels to break up all of the chests that you might have lying around. And that really is an active internal base area. You just need to light the end portal now. In around about the middle of your base, create yourself a little square of cobblestone steps facing the right way up, and inside that square put yourself a hay bale right in the middle like that. This is not food for horses, this is to make sure you can see your base from a long way away, because that campfire on top of it not only will give it a little bit of light, but it'll give the smoke signal that goes miles into the air and you can see it from miles away. All that's left now is making sure that everywhere is at least light level 8 inside your base, and to your taste, make it look a little bit more pretty. One really very simple base that you can build upon by incorporating some of the other buildings when you're ready and as your base grows, but that is completely safe, mob free, because it's got everything you need and is the perfect area if you spawn in really near a village. I think that worked out pretty well, and you don't have to use that many blocks at all. You just use the existing structures, which saves you on time building, saves you on time resource gathering, and when you dig out that little mine, that's going to give you loads of resources as you build the tunnel out, so that's perfect. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoy them, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.